Hello, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Disco Kitty, the Crappy Crafter. Today we're going to do something potentially simple, potentially messy, potentially hard. I'm not really sure. It may all just not work. But I'm here to fail so you don't have to. So today we're going to take some super cheap air dry clay and we're going to put it in some molds and see how they work. I understand I should probably be using solid molds, not silicone molds for this, like plastic molds, but you know what? Silicone's what I've got, so this is what we're gonna try. I saw this somewhere on YouTube. I don't remember who did it, but I'd love to give credit where credit is due, but like I said, I don't remember who it was, and I kind of feel bad about that. I should have written it down when I saw it. But yeah, so air dry clay, silicone molds. Let's see if we can make this work. Let's get into it. Alright, let's rip this open and see what we've got. 3 little clay tools, double-ended. 3 sleeves of clay. So many colors. I'm very excited by this. I know it doesn't really take that much, but hey. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to use a little pure talcum powder, which is really hard to find these days. This one is specifically for pool. So yeah. So we're gonna dust the molds to see if that helps it release later. I have used silicone in silicone molds after dusting them with this talcum powder, and it works really well. So here's hoping. Oh, this stuff. It is such a weird feeling. It is so different than anything I have ever felt before. It is light, airy, a little sticky, a little wet, but it's actually quite nice to use. It just feels weird. I didn't think I was going to need the tools that they supplied, but they actually work surprisingly well considering how cheap they are, and that's okay. Going in for the second color, this one is just going to be a two-tone, one color at one corner and one color at the other corner. 3 of them will be marbled, 1 of them will be like this, 1 of them will be a solid color with some dots, and the last one will be a rainbow. It'll be a lot of fun. And if I ruin these molds, it's okay, because I have 6 more. I was a little concerned with how the post in the mold was going to work with this clay, but the clay slid right around it, and it kept its shape, it didn't bend over. I was pleasantly surprised. And here we are going super fast forward, so that I don't have to bore you with making every single one of them. I'm going to marble the purple ones. Look at how pretty that is. That came out so nice. And then we'll marble the next couple. They're a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the process. They feel so weird when they're cured though. This one is just going to be some polka dots. Super simple. I don't really care for it once it's done, so I'm going to sacrifice it to the clay gods to see how it tears apart later at the end of the video. But, I mean, it's okay. It's cute. It worked really well. That's the important part. This one's going to be more marbled. This one, because this particular cavity is a little bit deeper than the others, it's going to take an extra day to cure. And we'll see that later as well. The only problem I had with the posts was that they would catch air bubbles. So here you can see me trying to poke out the air bubble, and it works. The air bubbles go away, and that's good. And now it's time to work on the rainbow one. I had a lot of fun putting this one together and trying to figure out how to fit all 6 colors in there. They're definitely not even, but that's okay. I think it came out pretty well despite that. And I was really impressed that they all stuck together, despite the fact that I just kind of laid them next to each other. I didn't really try to like blend them into each other to make sure that they would stick, but they stick, and that's good. It probably has something to do with the vague dampness that they have. Time to let these cure. I gave them a whole day to cure. And here, we're going to take out the first 2, the 2 that I put the talcum powder in. And you may have noticed I didn't put talcum powder in any of the other 5 cavities, and that's good because the talcum powder I imagine what it did was it just made them take longer to cure. I should have taken those out last. The talcum powder probably just held on to the moisture, because here we'll see it's only been like 5 minutes. But the other ones come out just fine. They're a little damp where they were still in the mold, but they come out pretty good. Here is the brown and orange one. Look, it doesn't come out. That sucks. That's okay. It'll come out on the next day. After I take these 2 out, we're gonna have a little tiny ASMR session. I'll say it again at the end, but they really do sound like foamy sheets. Look at how much shrinkage there was. They don't even fit in the mold anymore, but that's okay. Smaller is better in my opinion. I like small earrings. These are huge, and I will probably never wear them, but I needed to try it to see if it'll work. Yes, ruined molds, and some of them were stained, the red stained, go figure. Straight into the trash. Now, it's time to rip them apart and see how they stick together. I really like the black and red ones, so I'm not going to rip them apart. I really like the orange and brown ones, so they're safe as well. I really like the rainbow ones, they are also safe. And I really like the purple ones, so I will not rip them up either. However, the last set, they're okay. They're nothing special. They tear apart really easy. However, they just tear apart. They didn't come apart along the seams. And I'll say that again at the end of the video, but still. Well, I think those came out surprisingly well. I did ruin the mold. Do not mix it with talcum powder. It will not. It'll cure, but it took a lot longer, as you saw as I was ripping them up at the end. They were solid, but they left a pretty significant chunk. They left a pretty significant chunk in the mold. These molds, straight in the trash. And that's okay, because I have 6 more just like them. But yeah, I mean, I think these would totally be worth like 50 cents. They're unbelievably light. They really do sound like foamy, you know, the sheets of foam. They feel like compressed foamy. But I think they came out pretty well. And I was actually surprised at how well they stuck together, you know? They don't just pop apart. I expected this one to just fall right apart. But as we saw when I tore apart the one with the dots, it wasn't ripping at the seams, it was just ripping wherever it wanted, which kind of made me a little happy. So, that being said, I think these worked pretty well. You can use silicone molds for this air dry foam clay. They do shrink and they shrivel a little, but you know what? That's gonna happen regardless of how you use it anyways. So that's okay. So yeah, I think they worked well. Thanks so much for coming, and until next week, stay safe. potentially gonna screw it up. I'm not sure. Okay. First one right out the gate. Alright, we get that out of the way. Look who's here to give us snuggles. Oh, he's such a good boy. Oh. What a good boy he is. Such a good boy. Yes. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. I love you. He's a good boy. Oh, ow. With claws.